Think about the people you know, friends, family, former colleagues. Now, think about the one who is completely absent from the digital world. No Instagram grid, no fleeting stories, no professional updates on LinkedIn. They exist in your physical reality, but in the digital universe, they are a void. When you ask them why, they give a simple, almost unsatisfying answer. I just don't feel the need. But your brain doesn't accept that. You find yourself wondering, are they hiding a secret life? Are they struggling with deep introversion? Or have they discovered a psychological loophole that the rest of us, endlessly scrolling and curating, have yet to find? Today we are going to decode the social ghost. We aren't just looking at why they don't post. We are looking at how their brain operates on a fundamentally different frequency. To understand the person who doesn't post, we first have to understand why the rest of us do. Psychologists call it impression management. It's the deeply human drive to control how others perceive us. A study in the journal Computers and Human Behavior found that social media is less about sharing memories and more about curating an identity. Every photo of your coffee, every check-in at a scenic location is a carefully constructed signal. You are telling the world, this is who I am, this is what my life looks like, this is why I matter. We are seeking validation, relevance, and proof of existence. But the social ghost has opted out of this theater. They have realized that the curated self is a heavy mask to wear. By not posting, they keep their identity whole, unfragmented by the need for public approval. The first psychological profile of a non-poster is defined by a high need for privacy and autonomy. For these individuals, their inner world is a sanctuary, not a showroom. Research suggests that people with a strong internal sense of self don't require external echoes to feel secure. If they go on a vacation and see a breathtaking sunset, the experience is complete the moment they see it. They don't need 300 likes to confirm that the sunset was beautiful. For them, posting a photo feels like exposure, handing something intimate over to an audience that hasn't earned the right to see it. They understand a fundamental psychological truth. When everyone has access to your life loses its weight. Here is where it gets interesting for our channel's theme: silent psychological dominance. In a world where everyone is an open book, the person whose pages are closed becomes the most powerful person in the room. Because the social ghost doesn't broadcast their every move, they maintain an aura of mystery. You cannot solve them through a screen. You cannot categorize their politics, their relationship status, or their net worth by scrolling through their past 3 years of data. This creates a psychological vacuum that others feel compelled to fill with respect or curiosity. By staying invisible online, they force people to engage with them in the physical present. They aren't just avoiding the app, they are strategically protecting their unreadability. Most social media users operate on an external locus of control. Their mood and self-worth are dictated by external feedback, the red notification dots. The social ghost, however, operates on an internal locus of control. They have trained their brain to seek dopamine from the action, not the reaction. They cook a meal because they enjoy the process. They read a book for the knowledge, not to post a shelfie. This makes them psychologically resilient. While the average user suffers from social comparison envy, the feeling that everyone else is living a better life, the non-poster is immune. They aren't looking at the filtered highlights of others, so they don't feel the shadow of their own ordinary moments. We are living in an era where existence is equated with visibility. If you didn't post it, did it even happen? Choosing to be invisible is now a radical act of psychological self-preservation. A landmark study from the University of Pennsylvania showed that significantly reducing social media use leads to a direct decrease in loneliness and depression. The social ghost isn't missing out on the world. They are the only ones truly seeing it, without the distortion of a lens. They have traded the fleeting hit of a like for the sustained peace of presence. They realize that a moment shared with 500 strangers is often a moment stolen from the person standing right next to them. As we decode these 7 signs of silent strength, ask yourself, why do you feel the need to be seen? The people who do not post on social media aren't broken, and they aren't hiding. They have simply figured out what the rest of us are still struggling to learn, that a life lived fully does not need an audience. Your presence carries weight not because of what you show, but because of what you keep for yourself. Stay quiet. Stay present. And remember, the most powerful version of you is the one that doesn't need a witness to be real. So, here is my question for you. If the internet disappeared tomorrow, how much of your identity would vanish with it? Take a moment to sit with that answer in the quiet. If you found value in this deep dive into the human psyche, consider joining our silent community. Subscribe to Optic Psychology to explore the unseen layers of who we are. No noise, just insight. Stay present.